How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's doing great. Welcome back to SMD Fishing. If you're here for the first time, I appreciate you joining in. Just gonna do a quick video, give you guys some tips, tactics that that I'm trying to do out here on the water. I'm actually on electric lake, as you get. Well, I don't know if you can tell, I'm using my good old trolling motor. But what I'm trying to do here is, of course, catch some fish. We are just hitting fall, and when I say fishing can be kind of tough, especially like since we're after this COVID thing, or we're during this COVID thing, a lot more people actually, were fishing this year, which is, I guess you got nothing else to do, right? So why not go fish? And I don't blame you. So I'm just gonna give you three quick I can't talk. So I'm just gonna give you three quick tips. Number one, where are you trying to go to catch these fall bass? Now you got to understand what time of year that that it is, of course, fall, and we're right before winter time, and what the bass do during that time period. And the answer to that, it's feed. Right, feed up before they get to the winter, before they literally like boggle down, get their their little winter hut, winter home, and just stay. Eat maybe once a day, maybe once every few days. You never know. But they're gonna feed now, throughout this fall period, because they want to, like I said, get as much amount of food as they can, energy. It's almost like hibernation, almost. So where do you want to go to find these bass? So since they're going to feed so much, they're going to need food, of course. So you got to find the bait fish. If you can find the bait fish, you are 10 times more likely to catch fish or catch bass. So normally the bass are going to corral the bait into, not say super flats, but near flats, back into creeks, coves, bays. That's normally where you're going to find your bait fish, whether it be brim or actual shad, things like that. So yeah, that's first. Find your bait fish. Like I said, 9 times 10 back in your coves, things like that. I wouldn't go like super 1 foot shallow kind of thing, but in that 4 or 5 foot range, depending on your body of water, but something a little shallower than normal. When I say the normal, what they than their summer haunts. Summertime, these fish are normally deep, trying to stay cool. And now now that the temperature's changing, like I said, I'm out here mid 70s water temp. But most definitely, fish are gonna start moving up, feeding up before the winter. So now, what I can tell you is don't stick on a spot way too long. Oh, look at that. There's a group of somebody trying to find the bait here, right? Right. So, sorry. So what I was saying was, don't stick in one spot too long. Try to be versatile. Get your crankbaits, get your lipless crankbait back out. When I say crankbait, square bills, things like that. Try to use some moving bait, especially early in the morning. You can get on that top water bite. Top water bite's gonna start firing back up here. I actually lost one this morning, unfortunately, on a whopper plopper. Definitely whopper ploppers, buzz bait, things like that. Those are gonna be number 1 and 2 for me as far as top water. Move. Unless you come to like a juicy frog area, by all means use frog. But those are some baits right there that you can definitely go to town on come this fall time. Like I said, these fish are gonna be feeding up, so I'm not saying you just throw anything. Don't put like random baits together. But try to stick with your bread and butters. If you're a jig guy, by all means, flip every single tree you see. But these fish are going to be feeding up during this time period. And my last tip is to understand what's going on with your weather throughout the entire week before you even go fish on the weekend. I mean, unless you're about to fish during the week, then at least 3 or 4 days prior to your fishing trip. The reason I say the weather is so important, because you're going to start getting these fall, these we got like some hurricane, sprinkles of hurricanes here and there. So that brings a lot of rain, a lot of wind, or you just get a lot of days where you get rain. That's gonna muddy up the water. You want to know if a storm is coming up. It'd be great to fish right before that storm, or if let's say it's after a storm and it falls on the weekend. You just got to understand that after a storm is gonna be kind of tough fishing. I mean, normally that's like how it is during the rest of the year. But just understand your weather. That means let's say if you do go out that day after a storm, you're gonna want to have a couple finesse baits rigged up, ready to roll, drop shot. Some baits with a smaller profile, things like that. Smaller jigs. It's gonna be a little better on like I said, when it's a little tougher for fish. When I say tougher, before a storm, barometric pressure drops. fish started biting like crazy. Okay, it's just what they did. It's just some scientific stuff behind this. After a storm, when it's back, sunny, beautiful, possibly windy, a little windy today. I'm fishing after a storm myself. It's kind of tough at the moment, but whatever. But after a storm, the barometric pressure rises, which affects the fish. A lot of people think, oh, it's a beautiful day, let's go out fishing. It's not always the case. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you have some, pretty good days on a beautiful day. Don't get me wrong. But once it's after a storm, post-frontal, that's when it can be, rather tough. Like I said, drop shot, net rig, smaller jigs, smaller baits. But I've made it to my next location here. I'm going to stop talking. We're going to get some fishing. Thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A lot of fishing tips, tactics, and a lot of fishing going on here. Goal is to catch some stripers this year. Some striped bass, rockfish, whatever you want to call them. But I'm talking about like some trophy ones. That's the goal. I got my dad to actually take his boat back out after like 10 years, We're going to see if we can get on some here. Again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. You guys take care.